What's good, everybody? It's your boy Kenny C here for yet another edition of Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. Coming up, a recap Impact, SmackDown, Victory Road, and Raw, plus John Cena's car accident, Yokozuna being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I have a lot to discuss. So without further ado, let's get this show started, man. And I'm very excited about this evening show. I'm very, very excited. Yes, a lot to discuss, a lot to look over. WrestleMania about a week and a half away. TNA on the road to lockdown. And this is a lot to look forward to. It's a lot to look forward to. And it's a quiet background, so you won't be hearing my sisters in the background, which is a good look. So, without further ado, here we go. First and foremost, I want to say good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Triple Threat Wrestling Radio, right here on itmiradio.com, simulcasting on chillinbroadcasting.com. Triple Threat Wrestling Radio is part of the Chillin' Broadcasting Network. I am your host, Kenny C. Thank you for spending your Thursday night with me for the next hour. And it's good to see my good friend, fellow ITMI Radio broadcaster and friend, Smooth Gentleman, just entered the room. Hello, Chaos. Hello, Movie Face. Yes, there is a movie face in the chat room. So, if you're a first-time listener, welcome to the show. And if you don't like that name, just click your name on the right side of the chat room. You can change your name to something else. I have no control of the username, that the chat room picks for you. That's the chat room. It is what it is. Oh, and since Smooth Gentleman is here, please, by all means, check out his show, Court of Champions. He debuted it last week. He did his second show yesterday. This man has a great mind for wrestling. He talks all sorts of wrestling. He's been doing a really, really good job. Yesterday, he interviewed Christian Muscagni, formerly of OVW. And that was a controversial interview by all means. And Muscagni did not hold back. And I seen Muscagni on OVW taping once or twice. That man, he's something else. So I appreciate you all for being here tonight, and I appreciate Smooth for being here. I should be live by now. I should be live. I should be on the air. I'm getting a private message here. Yes, I should be live right now. Try refreshing the page. I should be on the air by now. I should be live. The encoder says that I'm on the air. So, I don't know if I'm here or not. I don't know if people can hear me. So, this is not a good look. So, let's make sure that everybody can hear me before I keep this show up and running. Just don't understand. People said nobody hears me. That is very odd. Let's try this again here. I should be on the air by now. I just don't understand why. Hold on a second, people. Hold on a second. I'm gonna keep the Ustream thing on. Let's try this again. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Can anybody hear me now? Please press a 1. Apparently, there's a podcast going on. If anybody can hear me, please press a 1. If you can hear me, please press a 1. The same broadcaster or my mixer appears to be acting up. This is not a good look. Let's see here. I got the U string up and running. And yet, nobody can hear me through the same broadcaster. So let's see if anyone can hear me now. Yes, this is a actual live show. I stopped the encoder and start it again. I just don't understand. Ever since the issues I had this past Saturday are chilling, everything's been messing me up. Weird. I have the encoder. That is weird. Change my number. I stopped the encoder and restarted it. Did you change your number? Alright. I changed the encoder this past Saturday. Unless the port number change. I guess I'm gonna have to restart my computer. This really sucks. Okay. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to restart my computer. This sucks. So I guess I'm gonna have to this is not a let me check. 8438. Okay. I wanna config. 8438. Eight, 4, 3, 8. Let's try this again. 8, 4, 3, 8. All right. Let's try this again. This is not a good look. 8, 4, 3, 8. Okay. I'm gonna have to change the port. Stand by. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is going to be on the blooper deal. Gonna have to be on the bloops. Let's see here. This is not a good look for me. I'm not even gonna talk wrestling until I can get this change. Yeah. Not even going to go there. Let's go ahead and change the encoder. I will get to the wrestling talk once I change. I will get to everything. Wait a minute. I can talk now. I still can talk through the Ustream feed. Um, Apparently nobody can hear me. So right now I need to go straight to the freaking Ustream type of deal. So apparently Chaos is in the room, but he ain't responding. So all I can say is you're still listening to the podcast, but you're just not. But people that's on the ITMI radio feed unable to. They are unable to hear me. So now I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to change the port number here. Yeah, blame David Otunga. Okay. 8438. Okay. Let's config. Okay. 8438. All right, let's try this now. All right, all right. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Um. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me now? Mic check 1 2. If you can hear me, can you see? Press a 1. Oh, thank the good Lord. Apparently, I got the wrong port number. I had the wrong port number. So the weird thing about it is, I spent the last 13 minutes talking to myself. That's how internet radio is, folks. So I guess I'm gonna go a little bit overtime if y'all don't mind. I'm gonna go overtime. It's 8:14 now. I'm gonna be out of here by 9:14. I hope that's okay with y'all. I hope y'all can do an extra 14 minutes of me. As I was saying, my good friend, Smooth Gentleman, is in the chat room. Moofy Face. I don't know who Moofy Face is, but hello. Um, Without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the recap. This is a recap show, WWE TNA. Before I get into that, please check out Smooth Gentleman's show, Court of Champions, Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. And by the way, I'm going to make an appearance on Court of Champions next Wednesday at 6:45. See, Smooth Gentleman has a segment called from the fans. He gets a caller on the show, right? He gets a caller on the show, and the caller gets to discuss everything, anything he or she wants. And since next week is WrestleMania week, I chose to pick WWE. So me and Smooth gonna spend 10 minutes on his show next Wednesday to discuss WWE, WrestleMania, whatever I see fit. He invited me, so I'm have accepted. And I've noticed a lot of people are just blaming David Otunga. David Otunga. He's lucky he's married. He should be thankful to marry to Jennifer Hudson. I'm saying that right now. He should be a lucky man. He's lucky because if he ain't got Jennifer Hudson, then he's just another wrestler. Okay. Now he's a brother. I try to give props to the brother wrestlers out there, but he just doesn't interest me. And yet this is the same guy who slobbered over a reality TV girl named New York for Flavor of Love. Ugh. So I go like, not into the dude. But then he kind of earned my respect a little bit when he married Jennifer Hudson. So, you know. People say that look, when he was on NXT, to me, he had the personality, but him being the lawyer, he doesn't get to express his personality that much. So, yeah, they are married and they do have a child. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna be on Smooth Gentleman's Show Court of Champions for a segment next Wednesday. Y'all check it out. It's itmyradio.com/Court of Champions. Check his show out. You will be impressed. He does a real good job. So now I only got a couple of minutes. I got plenty of time before my guest calls in. Jelena, indie pro wrestler out of Florida. And I'm now going to go ahead and get to the WWE portion of the show. And as my good friend Andrew pointed out, Yokozuna has been inducted to the Hall of Fame. I thought they were married, Otunga, and I guess they're still engaged. But as for Yokozuna, I like Yokozuna. 1992 through 1998, he was a former WWE champion, former tag team champion. He wasn't your typical. He wasn't your typical heavyweight. He was a super heavyweight. Way before Andre the Giant. I mean, actually, I can't believe I said that. But Andre came before Yokozuna. But there wasn't a lot of 500, 600-pound wrestlers. Yokozuna was one of them. Andre the Giant is another. I have, well, that's fitting since he's his brother. You know, hey, brother gotta support the other brother, I guess. But Yokozuna, he, I guess the misconception of Yokozuna is that people thought he was Japanese because of his name, when actually he's Samoan. He's an actual Samoan. He just the guy to have a Japanese name with the sumo wrestling outfit. And it's long overdue. I got a lot of respect for Yokozuna. You know, he wasn't flashy. He didn't have the flashy personality. He just came in there and worked and beat people up. And I would hate to be a wrestler having my chest smashed by his 500, 600-pound frame. I would hate to be the victim of that. I'm surprised a lot of people can still breathe after his body smashes you in that ring. That bonsai drop. Thank you, Smooth Gentleman. That's his finish maneuver. I know Rikishi did it in honor of him, fellow Samoan. I know a couple other wrestlers have done it. But that bonsai drop, can you imagine you being in that ring, 500, 600 pounds, smashing you like that? It's just, you're going to be coughing a lot and you ain't going to breathe that very well. Yes, Rock and John Cena match will still go on. Cena's been checked and he is medically cleared and he is good to go. Luckily, nobody was seriously hurt with the car crash. So that is good news. Kurt Hawkins has been the man person training Rock to get him in ring shape with John Cena. Kurt Hawkins of all people is training The Rock. Well, that's what happens when you haven't wrestled for the last 6, 7 years. This will be his first WrestleMania match in 8 years. Uh, but Yokozuna, well deserved. Congratulations. I think a lot of people are going to be really pissed at the WWE because Macho Man Randy Savage, who should have been inducted into the Hall of Fame a long time ago, way before his death, and I'm guessing Yokozuna is going to be the last inductee in this year's class. So far, you got Edge, Four Horsemen, Mil Mascarius, Juan Simmons, and Iron Mike Tyson. And, of course, Yokozuna. Now, not everybody can get in the same year, I understand. But Macho Man Randy Savage should have been inducted a long time ago, even way before his death. But I guess he had his run-ins with Vince McMahon, and they haven't talked. And, I guess things change, I guess. But Randy Savage should be inducted, hopefully at some point. I will say this. With the whole Florida Championship Wrestling, I want to get into that story. I will say this about Florida Championship Wrestling, which, by the way, is the developmental territory of WWE. There's been a lot of reports that company was shutting down, but Triple H set the record straight, confirmed that the company is being revamped, but it is not shutting down. It's not going anywhere, people. It is not going anywhere. Florida Championship Wrestling helped build the careers of talent such as Kofi Kingston, a brother. It's helped build the career of many NXT talent such as Ray Barrett, Justin Gabriel, Heath Slater, and also other talents such as Alberto Del Rio. I think Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus also was in Florida Championship Wrestling. Florida Championship have definitely molded a lot of talent. Of course, Kofi Kingston is a brother, man. Now, I don't like the tag team between he and R-Truth. I just don't. Kofi Kingston deserves so much better. There's no knock on R-Truth, but Kofi Kingston is not that big personality guy, and R-Truth is. I just don't think they fit as a tag team. I like Eric Boom a lot better than I'm a fan of R-Truth, don't get me wrong. I like R-Truth and the little Jimmies in the world, but they just don't fit as a tag team. They just don't blend. Kofi Kingston is not going to be known for getting mic time and giving you catchphrases. I will say this, but Kofi Kingston is very talented, and I think hopefully WWE will realize how good of a talent he is. And remember the matches he had against Randy Orton a couple of years ago? That's when he had his "I have arrived" moment. WWE has about one real tag team. I guess you're referring to those Usos. I like the Usos. I like the Usos. That they're the real legit tag team. They've been together since they both debuted in the WWE. Primo and Epico just pretty much WWE just put them together and let's see how y'all two go. And let's face it, nobody looking at them. They looking at Rosa Mendez. Nobody pay attention to Primo and Epico when they enter the ring. They pay attention to La Rosa and her and her dancing. Okay, I like the Usos. And you know what, man? I'm gonna go on record saying this. There is one diva I have a crush. I have a crush on Tamina Snooker. Gosh, she's fine, and the chick can wrestle too. Um, did anyone see the interview for Viscera? He wants to come back to WWE and team with Karma. Yeah, they had no character time, and that's the key in sports entertainment. Yeah, you barely hear them talk. All you do is just see them come out and let Lavosa do all dancing and let them wrestle and they done. I'm not a fan of the whole sports entertainment term. You're a wrestling company, WWE. That's what you are. That's what you do. Wrestle, wrestling, physical contact. I mean, and to make matters worse, I mean, other than Kofi and I mean, who else is going to compete in the tag team division? I mean, other than the Usos, the Usos are on NXT more than they on Raw and SmackDown. WWE, stop sleeping on them. Don't stop sleeping on Rikishi twin sons. Those boys can compete, man. And they do that splash very good. And you know what's really got me? How about the Miz? What happened? What has gone wrong for the Miz? I'm thinking the Miz is in the doghouse since Survivor Series, and honestly, I don't know why. I don't know what he did or what he done or what he said or did he bad mouth on somebody. But the Miz last year, like it or not, he main event WrestleMania last year. And now there's a chance he may not even have a match at all. If you go from main event in WrestleMania last year and not even getting a single match this year, then obviously you must have pissed Vince McMahon off. Vince McMahon is like Roger Goodell to the New Orleans Saints. Don't piss me off. Yes, and I'm a Saints fan and I'm aware of the whole bounty stuff. They will never top the team of Santino, No Talent, Morella, and Vladimir Kozlov. I miss that joke of a team. I like Santino Morella more times than other people. Look, he's not a premier wrestler. He's just there for comic relief. I like Santino more than other people. I really do. And my guest is calling in right now. Uh, Let me go ahead and add her to the conference here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time, if Skype decides to actually get her into the call here. See, Skype just this just in, Saints changed their name to Bounty Hunters, while the Pats have changed their names to Cheaters. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Bounty is a lot worse. Bounty is a lot worse. Oh, there's my guest right now. Jelena, all the way from Florida, indie pro wrestler. She's joining me right now. Hello, Jelena.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Got off to a rocky start, had some technical difficulties, but everything is working
Oh,
well
no.
now. Uh, but thank you so much for calling in tonight.
Thank you.
So Jelena, why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and how your wrestling career got started?
Well, my name is Selena. I've been wrestling for about 6 years now. I was just basically born and raised around it, so fell in love with it at a young age. And at age 15, started training for it, and from then on out, it's been a pretty crazy ride, actually.
You are located in Florida. Lucky
Yes.
you than others. Nice sunny weather. Uh, 12 months, 365. What are some of the wrestling companies do you work for in the Florida area?
Well, down here, I wrestle for I Believe in Wrestling over in Orlando. I've wrestled for DWI, which is over here in Ruskin, which I used to work a lot for. I've worked for Coastal Championship Wrestling down in Fort Lauderdale, so I basically hit every area you can think of in Florida, and plus many more.
So, who were your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Growing up, I would have to definitely say it was Bret Hart. I still take after a lot of the things he does, like the swinging neck breaker and a lot of the technical holds. And when it comes to the females, I would have to say it would probably be Lita. She's just inspired me.
Good choices, Bret the Hitman Hart, excellence of
Oh yeah,
execution, and of course, a leader who definitely break the mold of female wrestlers. She done things that you don't see a lot in female wrestlers, and
oh no,
so she definitely was a great competitor in her time. Um,
yes.
for what I hear on your Facebook, Jelena, you living in Florida and all. For what I hear, you're going to actually be attending WrestleMania next week.
Yes, I am.
All right, so are you going to be at the Access, the Hall of Fame, and WrestleMania, or are you just going to be at WrestleMania?
Well, I'm going to the Hall of Fame to meet up with a few buddies that I have there and see how they're all doing, and I will be attending to watch WrestleMania live on Sunday. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited.
Now, of all the matches, what is the one match you're looking forward to watching the most?
I would have to say, like everybody, I'm pretty sure it's going to be John Cena versus The Rock because like them two have had like two similar careers actually, but they both have two different things about them, and I think it's going to be interesting to see them two come together and put a match together. I think it's going to be really good.
Everybody's talking about that match once in a lifetime. Two men, two generations. I'm a fan of them both. I'm torn of who should I root for, but I don't know. I, I also like Punk and Jericho, Sheamus and Bryan. I like probably the three main matches I like out of all of them. Um,
Yeah.
and of course, this match has been made a week or two ago, and I want to get your comments on it. A lot of hardcore wrestling fans not all that thrilled, not all that thrilled that Maria Marunos, the extra TV host, she's going to be teaming up with Kelly taking on Eve Torres and Beth Phoenix.
Right.
Me personally, I prefer Maria over Snooki. But to make matters worse, there's no build up. Plus, she's on Dancing with the Stars right now. I mean, how do you feel about this match with Maria and Kelly versus Eve and Beth?
I would much rather, see a one-on-one women's match for the Divas Championship because that's basically what women should be wrestling for. As far as Maria goes and with Snooki and whatnot, I can't totally disagree with it because WWE is not just wrestling anymore; it's entertainment, and so to bring in different kind of people into WrestleMania to kind of make it pop because it's WrestleMania, it happens once a year. I can't totally disagree with it because it just makes things interesting. But I would like to see the Divas Championship on the line. But that's just what happens with entertainment, and I can't totally disagree with it. I gotta admit.
Uh, they they get too caught up in the whole sports entertainment. They lose track of what they really are. I said this moments ago. They are a wrestling company. That's what they do. They wrestle. I mean, the sports entertainment, I just don't get into it that much. I mean, just wrestle for creep's sakes. Just go out there and compete.
Right.
Uh, so, do you have any upcoming matches in the coming weeks?
Actually, I do. I'm actually going to fly out to Memphis to be working with MLW in Memphis, Tennessee. It's a custom show, and people can order up custom matches to see who they want to work. So that's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be a full weekend, but I'm ready to wrestle some matches, so I'm really excited about that.
That's a good concept there with the whole custom wrestling with fans being bookers. They get to pick the stipulations. They get to determine who faces who. Uh, so that's great. So definitely, where people can go for more info on that.
Well, I will be posting links to all this here soon. Um, there's a few other places you can actually set up these matches and whatnot, but they'll have that posted here soon to where you can go for it. Right now, they're going to forward the links to me and everything, but I will definitely post them to where they can go do it.
All right. Again, I'm joined with indie pro wrestler out of Florida, Jelena, here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio over at itmiradio.com. Got a question in the chat room from my friend Andrew. We were talking WWE moments ago. Uh, my friend Andrew is a huge fan of a guy named Randy Orton. I guess you may have heard of him. Uh, but he wants to know, are you a fan of Randy Orton? That's his question.
I absolutely am. Randy Orton is a kind like no other. He's got this personality about him that just kind of makes him stand out more than anybody. I love his in-ring work. I think he can work a match better than most people I know. So I am definitely a fan of Randy Orton. Yes.
I like Randy Orton as well. He's come a long way.
He sure has.
He's come a long way as a competitor, as a man. Had some immature issues when he first came out. People was wondering if he's going to make it into the business long term. You know, he's got a lot of pressure of him considering he's a third generation wrestler, and he's went on to become one of the top competitors WWE's ever produced. So,
Oh yes.
yeah, so much respect to Randy. Um,
Absolutely.
Now, do you have any social network links? I know you got the Facebook. Uh, my friend Smooth Gentleman wants to know, do you have a Twitter account?
I used to have a Twitter account. I could not really get into it very well, but I'm going to be starting another one. I'll post the link on my Facebook. When I first started, it was kind of boring, but I get questioned that a lot. So yeah, I'll definitely start another one back up.
I know you do have a Twitter through your website. It's Wrestler Jelena. Um, so I guess, but you're gonna be making a new account anyway. So, why don't you tell the listeners your Facebook?
Okay, you can visit my Facebook at facebook.com/alwaysjelena. If you type in Always Jelena, you'll pull up my website, my Facebook, and everything else. So that's the best way to get a hold of me is that way, through Facebook.
Wrestler Jelena is the Facebook name. Go add her to your friends and like her Facebook fan page, also under the name Wrestler Jelena.
Yes.
Um, Let me ask you this, Jelena. What would your advice be to anyone out there that wants to get into the wrestling business, that want to make this a long term commitment? What would your advice be?
I would definitely say make sure you get the proper training. You're going to pay a little bit more money, but you need to go to a proper school. You get all the credentials and everything that you need to actually make this a career. So definitely good training. And I would say definitely stick to things that you believe in, like especially for the women that wants to become wrestlers. Stick to what you believe in. You know, if they're wanting you to do something, don't do it. If you don't, go with what you believe. But definitely good training and stick to your beliefs is what I would definitely tell anybody.
If you can have a dream match against anyone, dead or alive, past, present, if you can have that dream match against anybody, what would your dream match be?
Well, knowing that I am such a big fan of Lita, I would definitely have to say versus Lita. I've always dreamed of a match like that, and it would be a dream come true if it ever happened. So I'd definitely have to say Lita.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Jelena versus Lita.
Yes.
Some high flying action right there. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, Now, again, I'm joined with Jelena here on Triple Threat Western Radio over at itmiradio.com. Before I let you go, Jelena, I asked all guests to do this. It's like a station ID, it's like a voice drop. All you have to do is say your name, and right after you say your name, you say you are listening to Triple Threat Western Radio.
Okay. This
And
is Jelena. This is Jelena, and you're listening to Triple Threat Radio.
that's Triple Threat Western Radio.
Oh, okay.
That's
So we
okay.
got extra words here. Well, I'll say it again. You want me to say it again for you?
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay. This is Jelena, and you're listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, it's okay. You're not the first and you're not the last, so it's all good. It's all
It's
good.
all good.
All good. And thank you for your time. Good talking to you. You're very nice. You got a bright
Thank you.
future. Again, people, check her out on Facebook, Wrestler Jelena. On Facebook, the profile and the fan page. She'll keep you posted on upcoming matches and stuff. Um, Again, it was great talking to you. Do you have any final words and shout outs?
I just want to thank everybody for listening, and I hope everybody enjoyed. And I thank you for having me.
Thank you again, Jelena. You have a great night.
You too.
All right, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
That was indie pro wrestler Jelena here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. Um, Smooth gentleman in the chat room. Woman don't wrestle there. 30 seconds is not a match. Nowadays, people are just like, how short the match is going to be. I mean, it's just not. You let go of. It's one thing to let go of Michelle McCool where she had to retire. It's one thing to let go of Mickey James. It's one thing to let go of other talented Jazz and Jacqueline and other well-respected female wrestlers, and now you got these matches coming up short. I mean, that's things you can do in 30 seconds or two. I say it's 2-3 minutes. Just to be more fair, it's 2-3 minutes. You say 30 seconds, I say 2-3 minutes. You know, I'm a be a little bit more fair on that one. So I'm gonna go a little bit overtime. When Kelly is your face of the division, blame yourself. Oh. Blame yourself. Hey, I like Kelly. The woman, she tries. I know she's not. People don't take her seriously. You know, all I want is effort, and that's what she does. She gives you effort. Yeah. Do I think she's the face? Do I think she's the face of the Divas division at this point? Maybe. You know, she's doing a lot more things than just, I guess my thing is with Kelly is that she still has a long way to go. It's like the Tim Tebow analogy. She has a long way to go. She's like Tim Tebow. She has a long way to go. But she's been there for 6 years. Should have been a bit further. You know, WWE gets caught up with these models and try to turn them into wrestlers. I mean, it worked with Trish Stratus. But since Trish Stratus, you know, it lightning don't necessarily straight twice as people think. The Knockouts division, so much better. Well respected. Mickey James. Angelina Love, Tara. I can't. I almost called her. I almost called her Victoria. She's Tara now. I like Tara. I met the woman a couple of times. She's very nice. Who else? Gail Kim. I mean, it's no contest. Their division is better than the Divas. And, and people say that the Knockouts division is like the highest rated stuff. It's the highest rated segments of TNA and Impact. I tend to agree. I mean, it's watchable, and there's moves being done. Velvet Sky and her pigeons. Yes, Velvet Sky and her pigeons with Zeta. Um, they have had a jam-packed division. I guess people will start to take the Divas division serious once Karma gets back. Uh, I don't know. I don't think Karma can help that division. I mean, she's gonna do her part. She's gonna compete. She's gonna do a good job. But the Diva division is like Tim Tebow. They got a long way to go. Stop looking for models. Look for wrestlers. I wonder how much of a joy Taz gets every time when he says, "Let the pigeons loose." That's like Jerry King Lawler loves saying the word puppies. They have a long way to go. Stop looking for models. Look for wrestlers. Look for the Sarah Del Reys. Look for Safi Steffi. Look for the Jessica Havocks. Look for the Mercedes Martinez. Look for those type of wrestlers. I like Mercedes Martinez and her many 100,000 tattoos. I like Jessica Havoc. I like them. I really do. Um, Karma versus Beth Phoenix will be a hell of a match when it happens. Sure, I definitely agree with you on that, Fozzy. I definitely agree with you on that. Karma right now just needs to. She just need to put everything to the side. She just need to. Don't force yourself back until you are mentally ready. Okay, she lost her baby, and she just needs some time to really, really get mentally good. So, and to let you know, you're doing Ring Zone for WrestleMania 28. Cool, Andrew. Cool, cool. I like Mercedes Martinez. I really do. She's quite the mamacita, I tell you that right now. I did not get to recap a lot of stuff because of my technical issues, and since I'm going a little bit over this evening, WWE will cut her now if they wouldn't have that crap suit out of them. Yeah, I guess if they were to get some of these talented wrestlers, they would have to change a little bit, and that would not be good. You know, and people want to easily blame Vince McMahon. I mean, he is the owner, he is the boss, he does sign the checks. I mean, Vince McMahon can't do everything, so I'm not gonna give him all the heat. I'll give who. You know what? Blame John Laurinaitis. I think it was all John Laurinaitis since he's the one looking for the talent. Blame him. Blame his unexcitement ass. I blame John Laurinaitis. He is the executive vice president of talent relations. He the one looks for the talent. I blame Larry. No, it's McMahon. Blame David Otunga. I'm not gonna blame on the brother. No, it's all Laurinaitis. It's all Laurinaitis. He did find Alicia and Kelly in the magazine. Oh man. All right, let me go ahead and recap some shows from WWE TNA from last week. I didn't get to do it earlier. I, so here we go. Uh, let's get to it. CM Punk kicked things off on Monday Night Raw, addressing the situation between he and Jericho. Jericho going on talking about Punk's father being a drunk, an alcoholic. And we all know CM Punk is the Mr. Straight Edge. You know, more power to Punk. I'm a straight edge dude as well. He wears it on his sleeve, and I find it interesting that all of a sudden that they adding the whole alcoholic thing to this rivalry. Um, I will say this: WWE got people talking about people's parents and family members. You got Jericho talking about Punk's father and his sister. You got Walk talking about Cena's mom. Can you say high school? You got these wrestlers act like they're in high school. Well, your mama is this, your father is that. So childish. I get the storylines and stuff, but come on. Just talk about each other. Leave family out of it. Regardless of regardless. Leave family out. Just leave it to the wrestlers, man. When family gets involved, I don't get too thrilled over it for some reason. It's like you talk about people, you have a problem with somebody, you deal with that person, I get it. But when you talk about people's family, then oh shit hits the fan. You know. I'm just not that big of a fan of that angle. The whole talking about people's family. Everything else is okay. Just lay off the family members, alright? I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I think a little too far fetched for me. A little over the top. Also, Kane defeated the Big Show. You got Cody Rhodes continuing to mock Big Show's WrestleMania embarrassing moments. Big Show, his WrestleMania record is 3-8. 3 wins, 8 losses. He's tied for the second most losses in WrestleMania history. And like Cody Rhodes said, how can you call yourself the Big Show when you don't perform at the Big Show? They disrespect the Big Show, man. Lose to Floyd Mayweather, lose to some sumo wrestler. I will say that. Come on. Andrew goes on to say Alicia is sexy and a good wrestler, lol. She's alright, says Smooth, compared to the girls on the Indies, Mexico, Japan, elsewhere, decent. Referring to Alicia Fox. Seems like a lot of girls like to rock the red hair ever since Rihanna. Alicia Fox, I see Sassy Steffi got the red hair. There's a lot of girls are into the all red hair, trying to make them look exotic. I like Sassy Steffi, and the fact that she's a former guest on the show. Love Steffi. Now of course the captains went at it. Otunga and Santino. Of course, on SmackDown last week, Christian, Captain Charisma, is getting back to the ring. He'll be representing Team Johnny. So far you got Ziggler, Swagger. I'm gonna tell you this about Dolph Ziggler. I'm not a big fan of him, but I like him on the WWE Download YouTube show. If you haven't seen it, go to WWE's YouTube page and check him out on WWE Download. He is flat out hilarious. The dude has the personality. Dolph Ziggler is going places. I don't like the guy, but I give respect where respect is due. He shows off and he competes. He's come a long way from the guy who unknowingly introduced himself. Now, it's like the man is out of his shell and he has the ability to back it up. So, I'm not a big fan of Dolph Ziggler, Mr. Hashtag Heel, but I respect the dude as a competitor. I'll give him his props on that. So yeah, Swagger, Ziggler, I think Otunga, and Christian. So there's gonna be one more slot left for Team Johnny, and I won't be surprised if it's Alberto Del Rio. He has to be healthy by now. And plus, let's not forget, go back to Elimination Chamber pay per view when they endorsed John Laurinaitis to be in charge of Raw and SmackDown. The three guys and Mark Henry, who are also forgotten. It was Henry, Christian, and Del Rio. I won't be surprised if Del Rio gets that sixth and final spot. Uh, or it may be Miz. I mean, there's no way that he can go from main eventing WrestleMania last year to not even getting a match at all. Uh, Team Teddy team, they better get some. They better get somebody. They better get some people. I mean, you got Truth, you got Kofi, you got Santino. You better get somebody. I can't even think of anyone. Zack Ryder, he may end up being on Teddy's team. And speaking of Zack Ryder, he had his first match back from injury. He lost to Daniel Bryan. You know, I'm going to call Daniel Bryan the yes man. You know, when you think of the yes man, you think of people that just say yes to anything. This dude is like the opposite of a yes man. He just out there and said yes, yes, yes. I guess sometimes you gotta be annoying to get yourself out there. I guess Smooth's not a fan of the true Long Island IC Mr. Woo Woo Woo. I mean, I can't take the guy seriously, man, because I think he's too caught up with the YouTube show. Zack Ryder. I don't know what to think of Zack Ryder. I think he's just too caught up in the YouTube show. He did the YouTube show just to get noticed. Congratulations, you noticed. Now lay off the YouTube show and wrestle. Well, he can wrestle now that he's fully healthy. But you know. Let's see. The Rock was in Philadelphia. The Rock. Let me tell you something. The Rock is without a doubt he's still one of the best when it comes to being on the mic. He was in front of the Rocky statue. Right? He was in front of the Rocky statue talking about his dream. He's talking about growing up, being a star, and then he showed a picture of himself, and he said, and people like, and as for people, he said he looked like a girl, and yes, honestly and seriously, he did look like a girl, and he said it on television. So all the Rock fans don't get mad at me. He said it. I will go on with this. Thank you, Ebo, for your time. You have a good night. So the Rock's talking about growing up in front of the Rocky statue. He is one of the best on the mic. Now, he does tend to use the same old catchphrases and stuff, but people don't care. They just want to hear lay the smackdown, candy ass. And he's like a puppeteer. He holds people at the palm of his hand. The Rock is great. He's absolutely great. Um, as for SmackDown here, and I'm gonna get to some TNA talk in just a little bit since I am going over time. Uh, Christian brought back the Peep Show. confirming he's now part of team. He's part of team Johnny. Kofi defeated David Otunga. AJ defeated Nikki Bella. Jericho defeated Sheamus. Rose defeated Khali. Big Show defeated Drew McIntyre. Henry defeated Yoshitatsu. Now, I did not get to see the Victory Road pay-per-view because I was at an indie show, UWF, over at Georgetown, Kentucky. I didn't get to see it, so I don't know what really went down, but I do have the results. Not sure if you guys seen the Victory Road pay-per-view or not. I'm very eager, looking forward to Storm versus Rude. Yeah, I believe it's going to be Storm versus Rude at the Lockdown. And that's the pay-per-view. Every single match is inside of a steel cage. So I like Lockdown. That's one of my favorite TNA pay-per-views of the year. So I'm very looking forward to that. Let's see. James Storm defeated Gunner. And again, these are results from Impact of last Thursday. Storm defeated Gunner. Anderson defeated Daniels. Gale defeated Mickey. Madison Wayne defeated Velvet Sky. Crimson defeated Joe. Austin Aries confirms he's the longest running X Division champion, and that reign continues from this past Sunday. And Garrett Bischoff defeated Kurt Angle. I'm sorry, but Eric Bischoff's kid, I can't. I don't know. Eric Bischoff, I think I'm gonna have to put him in the T-Ball category too. That kid has a long way to go. And I'm very surprised that TNA put the guy out there in the lion's den right away. Since Ohio Valley Wrestling is a developmental territory, he should go there and work on his craft a little bit. I think Bischoff has potential, but I just think he just put into the lion's den. He's much improved. Don't get his choice. He's probably be wasted. No business in the angle he's in. I mean, to be there with the likes of a Kurt Angle, to be there this early in his career, he just need to. It's like a lot of wrestlers. You got to work your way up. You got to start taking on people that has the same skill set. I mean, Kurt Angle is Kurt Angle. You know, I'm just. I understand you got to do what the script says, but I agree with you, Smooth. He has no business being in the angle that he's in. You know, they need to just think of something else, I guess. And now I'm gonna give y'all the the Victory Road results. James Storm defeated Bully Ray. Of course, James Storm is the #1 contender for the Impact World Heavyweight title against Bobby Roode, who defeated Sting. Austin Aries continued his longest running X Division title reign, defeated Zema Ion. I can't stand Zema Ion. I can't stand him. maybe it's him spraying his hair too damn much, but I can't stand him. When is Crimson going to actually lose? When is he actually going to get pinned or submitted? Because TNA keeps going with the guy's never. He's never been pinned. He's never been submitted. That is correct, but he has lost matches, tag team matches. You're not gonna count that as a loss for Crimson, just because he was never pinned. That's like people being in a triple threat match. Yes, One person gets pinned, the other person doesn't, but yet you still lost the match. It still counts as a loss. So I'm not buying the whole Crimson undefeated streak. Okay? You lost. Regardless of what the storyline is. You got pinned. If you even if you don't win every single match, even if you know, disqualification or lose by countout, it still counts as a loss. But then again, wrestling don't get caught up in wins and losses. They get caught up in results. They get caught up in ratings. They get caught up of who's out there. You know, it's the one sport that people don't focus on the win loss column. But I'm not buying the whole Crimson undefeated streak. Okay, he lost. He's lost some matches, but he's never been pinned or submitted. And yet TNA continues to go with the world. He's never been pinned or submitted. He's lost some matches. He's just never been pinned or submitted. So, I mean, that kind of irritates me a little bit. If I'm going with a sports analogy, you know, you either you win or you lose, regardless of if it's a single sport or a team sport. A win's a win, a loss a loss. And now you see that Crimson is turning into a heel. And I got a feeling that Crimson may take on Matt Morgan at Lockdown. I think that we may see the last of them as a tag team. And you know what? Crimson and Matt Morgan kind of look kind of all the same person anyway. I mean, you made up tag team champion to see how it goes. But I just don't, you know, they're the same person. Except Matt Morgan just a few inches taller. So I'm not buying too much in all that. But Crimson about to be turned heel. That should be interesting. We'll see how he fares as a heel. We'll see how that fares. Gail Kim defeated Madison Rain. The BFFs went at it. Speaking of YBE, he had an open challenge against anyone in the locker room. And how about this? Devon accepts the challenge, defeated him, and walks out with the TV championship. So is that Devon's first ever singles championship? Unless you want to count the hardcore championship, the 24/7 rule back in the Attitude Era. But I believe that's his first single championship in his TNA career. But nobody takes that TV championship seriously anyway. That's just a title on the side. AJ Styles and the returning Mr. Anderson defeated Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. Mr. Anderson, I don't know. I liked it at first because the dude was brass. He was in your face. I don't know if it's his voice accent or whatever. I don't know what to think of Anderson anymore. You got all these guys, and to me, when are they going to start using some OVW talent? I feel like there's plenty of OVW talent that can get into TNA right away and make an impact, literally. I like Will Smooth, Johnny Spade. I like Jamie Nolavencia. I think Rudy Switchblade. I think a couple other people, just to name a few. In their female division, wow. Taylor Hendricks, who I did a video interview with. Yes, I get it. But there's a reason why they have developmental territory. Get some new faces out there. The only new talent that they have had over the last year or so is Gunner and Crimson. And I guess you can add Garrett Bischoff in the mix. Those are like the only new faces that they have. And speaking of new faces, WWE's planning on debuting a new wrestler and named Lord Tensai. Let's hope he does a lot better than Sin Cara, aka Botchkara. Um, Phil Shatner, aka Gunner, is amazing. I like Gunner. You know, just when you thought you have no hope for them to build new talent, I like Gunner. I like Crimson. Those are like the I guess that's their future. Um, and you know the main reason I watched the TNA is because of their X division. The X division was fantastic. Nowadays, a lot of the pioneers, the Samoa Joes and the AJ Styles and the Christopher Daniels, like the X Division pioneers, they move on to other storylines and title opportunities and stuff. I like Alex Shelley. I hope Chris Sabin gets back soon. Austin Aries, he's okay. He's talented. I that's the main reason I watch TNA is because of the X Division. Now I watch it for the knockouts and whatever they have in front of me. The knockouts is like the one thing they got correctly. Sin Cara is where Rey Mysterio was at this point of time in the U.S. WWE didn't allow him to learn their style. He only worked with one other luchador. And he's referring to the other Sin Cara, now known as Hunico. Um, Sin Cara with the luchador background. People just, I guess, I don't know if it was pressure on him of trying to be the next Rey Mysterio. You know, he has some good moves that he had some good matches, and yet there were times that he botched a little bit, and he got suspended for 30 days, or was it 60 days? I don't remember the actual amount, and then he got injured at Survivor Series, so it was a rough year for Sin Cara. It was a rough year. So yeah, his merchandise moved big time. It was a breath of fresh air. Remember when WWE had a light heavyweight division? It's like they don't focus on that. They lost form of on the light heavyweight division. They don't care about the light heavyweights anymore. The tag team division is not much of a division when you only have one real tag team. In the Divas division, well, is you only get to see them for, I guess, in smooth turns 30 seconds. I say 2-3 minutes. So Sin Cara, I hope he gets healthy soon. I hope he checks out his matches, see what he can do. You don't have a lot of people of Sin Cara's size in the WWE roster. You don't have a lot of light heavyweights or cruiserweights. You don't have a lot of people that he could blend with. I mean, he had matches against Tyson Kidd, Daniel Bryan, Hunico. I mean, but Daniel Bryan's the world heavyweight champion. Some people, what is the actual weight amount to be considered a heavyweight? Is it 275 pounds or something like that? You got people that call themselves world heavyweight champions, and yet they're not even actual heavyweights. I don't know. I guess whoever has the hot hand and whoever is the big star on the rise and stuff, then they go with whoever that champion is. His merchandise was good, but he did have a rough year with the with the suspension and the injuries and stuff. But we'll see how Sin Cara fails. We'll see how he does. Um, Another announcement I want to make before I get on out of here. It is 9:15. It's 15 after a little 15 minutes after 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Uh, Triple Threat Wrestling Radio is temporarily, that's the key word, temporarily moving to Wednesdays from 8 to 10 p.m. 8 to 10 p.m. I'm moving the show temporarily for the next 3 weeks from 8 to 10. Please check out Smooth Gentleman's show, Court of Champions, 6 to 8 p.m. I'll be on from 8 to 10. So you got your wrestling radio doubleheader for the next 3 weeks. And please don't forget the 1 year anniversary, April the 11th. That is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Please check it out. 8 to 10 p.m. 1 year anniversary show. Doesn't matter if they bother with the weight limit. Ray and Daniel would never become world champion when they deserve it. You got a good point, Fozzy. I mean, if you're gonna call it the world heavyweight champion, then it ought to focus on those who's actual heavyweights. When Rey Mysterio won the championship, I say, yeah, he definitely deserved it. Rey Mysterio come a long way. Luchador days, WCW, ECW, came into the WWE, worked his butt off, and finally won the championship. And as for Daniel Bryan, Indie Circuit, Ring of Honor, NXT, Nexus. He got released by the WWE. Then they brought him back. And now he's a world champion. If I will say this. I guess at the end of the day, if they believe in you, if a company believes in you, regardless of the rate, then they're gonna support you. They're gonna give you a push. That's what happened with Mysterio and Bryan. Oh, and I checked out a John Cena interview earlier today, and he talked about the spinner belt. And since John Cena is the inventor of the spinning championship belt, Cena even admits that it's time for that championship to get a makeover. It's time to bring back the old WWE championship belt. But Cena did, but it was the most sold championship belt, purchased championship that they've ever had. So I guess merchandise wise, it was all right, but nobody spins the belt. The belt doesn't even spin. I don't remember the last champion that actually spun the belt. So, yes, I agree with Cena on this. It's time to get rid of that WWE championship. Get rid of it. Let it go. Go back to the old WWE championship. Bring it, put it into it, something. If Cody Rhodes can change the Intercontinental Champion, then I guess CM Punk, who's currently the champion, you would think Mr. Best in the world will say, you know what, it's time to change this belt. Yeah, tradition matters, just not in WWE. They're trying to go against the grain. I get it, because the spinners on the wheels was popular, and I guess they went along with the spinning belt. The whole spinners was popular in hip hop culture, and John Cena from the hip hop culture, and I guess I don't think he was a, I think he was no longer the rap gimmick when he ended up winning the WWE Championship for the first time, and that's when the spinner belt came out. But Cena said on that interview, it's time to change it. It's time to change it. If Cody Rhodes could change the Intercontinental title, then the WWE Championship could be changed. So, look, the championship is not supposed to be about bling bling and spinners. It's a belt. You put it on your waist or you put it on your shoulder, depending on put it on if it can fit, depending on if it can fit in your to fit on your waist or not. And I'll leave it at that. And wow, in non-wrestling news, Syracuse just defeated Wisconsin in the Sweet 16 by 1 point. All right, I'm about to get on out of here. Don't forget, Triple Threat Wrestling Radio will be on Wednesday next week, 8 o'clock. Same time, different day for the next 3 weeks. This new mainstream audience probably loves the bling. I don't think a whole lot of people are into the bling anymore. I don't think the audience are into it. I mean, this as of right now, you know, they're into it when it first came out and people wanted a championship like that, but I don't think a lot of people are into it right now. You know, it's time to change, I guess. Like, I mean, John Cena does have stroke. I mean, he could go out to Vince and say, Vince, let's put an end to it, man. Bring back the old belt. He has stroke. He just don't. I don't know. Again, before I get on out of here, I want to thank you, gentlemen. I'm thanking you. It looks like it was a video around the model's waist. I don't think it would fit in them. I don't think a model can hang with that championship belt. The championship belt will weigh heavier than the model itself. If you're gonna put, you better put that championship on the model super tight. Put the belt on the on the model super tight. That's all I'll say about that. But I want to thank my good friend Smooth Gentleman. Please check out his show, Court of Champions. Wednesday nights, 6 to 8 p.m. Just a reminder, Triple Threat Wrestling Radio will be on Wednesdays for the next 3 weeks starting March 25th, April 4th, April the 11th, which is the 1 year anniversary show. I apologize for the technical difficulties a little bit earlier. I thank Jelena for being a guest. I got multiple guests on the show next week. And I'll give y'all more details on that in the coming days or so. Scotty Wiggs is going to be on Smooth Gentleman's show next week. So please, by all means, please check it out. Former WCW wrestler. And check out his other shows over the Podomatic. You can listen to his previous 2 shows there. And you can check out past shows of Triple Threat Wrestling Radio over the TTW Radio tab over at chillinbroadcasting.com. Again, I want to thank Jelena for being on. Check out Smooth Gentleman's show. Court of Champions, 6 to 8 p.m. over at itmiradio.com/Court of Champions. Please check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/user/TTW Radio. Twitter at TTW Radio. Facebook, like the fan page, facebook.com/Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. or you can click on the link there on the left side of the chat room. With that said, I can now conclude. I'm not even gonna watch Impact tonight. I'm so caught up in March Madness, it's not even funny. I'm not even gonna watch SmackDown tomorrow either. I'm gonna just put them both on the DVR and then I'll watch it later in the week. But it's March Madness. I'm keeping an eye on the bracket. Impact, SmackDown, just gonna have to take a back seat on my TV screen. But WrestleMania previews next week. Please check it out 8 to 10 Eastern next Wednesday. Thank you all for listening. And I am out. Please check out Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C, hosted by Jeff, Lauren, and myself. Saturdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Check it out. ChillingBroadcasting.com, ITMIRadio.com. I go by the name of Kenny C, and I'm out this. Peace out. You all have a good night. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next Wednesday night. Much love. You all have a good night. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next Wednesday night. Much love.